We open on the Badlands, half a day's ride north of Torch. The afternoon sun shines down on the fields of a struggling farm, one of many along the roads of New Maria. Low, stunted crops planted in rows seem to lean towards the light, or perhaps they're struggling to pull away from the tainted, polluted soil below. On the south side of the field, a farmer is hard at work assembling a new fence around a sinkhole that's formed since the last rain. With every tap of the mallet, the fence post sinks deeper and the sandy soil shifts, expanding the hole ever so slightly. The whole field might collapse someday. Not that it's ever produced much. The aging farmer stops swinging their mallet and leans against the newly driven post, resting their back a minute before they finish the job. The wind kicks up suddenly, and it carries a screech across the sky. The farmer starts and turns their head up to the sky, shielding their eyes from the glare of the low sun. Something huge is flying by, low, but staying aloft. Not diving, not attacking. Thank Erastil for that, at least. For a moment, the farmer thinks the flying beast is a dragon, but if it is, it's a young one. There's something odd about the way it's flying, and something catching the sun as it flies across the sky. Like it's made of metal or something. The farmer shrugs their shoulders and goes back to their work. This is Pod Against the Machine.
Pod Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pod Against the Machine, the only actual play podcast that doubles as an inadequate introduction to Birmingham slang. I'm your host, and here is everybody.
It's us.
Hello.
Yampy.
We're here.
Bonce. Yup. Arly barley. And all those other words.
Peaky Blinders.
That's the end of the episode.
All right, we did it. When last we left the very capable four, they had found their way into a brand new floor under the mountain, where they fought some endangered marsupials that did not look like cats, despite what the flavor text said, and quickly dispatched them, found their way through a locked door, and found some orcs and some Ysoki. And it was a bit of a back and forth fight, during which the orcs and Ysoki got the worst end of it, but unfortunately Brixby was one of the Ysoki who had a hard time. But our heroes triumphed, but not before one of the Ysoki escaped to another room, where he apparently laid in wait, and when the door opened, took a pot shot at Asher, which is where we find ourselves now. Asher has just dodged being shot because he is faster than electricity, canonically. And we are about to roll for initiative.
Ooh, yeah.
Now? Are we doing it now?
Yeah, let's just do it now. Let's come out of this hot.
That's pretty hot.
All right.
That's an 18 for Brixby.
18 total. Don't mind me just accidentally drawing on the map. All right. And how about Vargas?
Vargas is probably going to be sitting this one out with a 6.
Vargas has a 6. And how about Kira?
Well, not to brag, but I did roll a 17, plus a 5, 4, 8, 22.
Wow.
I'm also doing math faster this week, so I'm really just trying a bunch of new things here. We'll see how long any of this holds up.
And how about Asher?
1 inch taller and 1 number higher. Asher rolled a 19 on the dice plus 4 for a 23.
Wow.
Classic Asher. That's what we call it. Classic Asher.
The Norse Foundry Sandstorm doing me well so far.
Don't mind me. I am definitely not doing anything that you shouldn't know about.
Hey, I think
Sam,
we made a
why are there
mistake with
three
the
rat men?
initiative tracker there, Sam, because
You've got some extra.
it's kind of embarrassing. I know what you're going through, where you just put a character on there and you duplicate it, I don't know, 4 or 5 times.
And they have different numbers.
We'll
too.
cut
It's
all this
bizarre.
out.
Yeah, you can just clean
It's
that
so
up with
weird.
this little X.
We'll fix it in post.
In fact, as we've been talking, you appear to have had 2 more.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like my mouse
they're
just won't let
multiplying.
go, and
Spite.
something just keeps clicking. So we're just going to roll with it.
Oh, well, that's all we can do on this TTRPG podcast. Right, gang?
Hey! Somebody should call the show Roll With It. But it's Asher's turn first. He is standing in the doorway staring down at Yosoki.
Am I correctly remembering that I picked up a Tommy gun automatic weapon so that I can hit, hypothetically, like 10 or 12 Yosoki?
Well, I don't know why you would even wonder about such things since you can only see one Yosoki. But
Fair.
no, the Tommy gun, I think, is in another castle.
You know what? It's probably in that chest with the white key card.
It might be.
Dagnabbit. Alright. Well, after I kill this one and only opponent, I'm going to take the white key card off his belt. And then we're going to go get that Tommy gun. But for now, I roll this d20. Yeah, I'm expecting a 23 to hit touch.
23 will hit touch.
It's a natural 15. On that same sandstorm, I tried to ride the hot dice, and so far 2 for 2. Middling on the damage, though, 5 points. And Asher feels like he's clogging this hallway a bit, so he's going to try and move into the room, reloading as he does, thanks to his cool mysteriousness. Just kind of stepping aside here. 5, 10. Uh-oh. There's more in here. This may be an unwise pursuit. Prepare yourselves for battle.
Well, the good news is that Yosoki was already injured from an earlier fight, and he goes down. The bad news is Asher can see a couple more new friends, and it is Kira's turn.
Like 2 new friends, 3 new friends, because it looks like we're still having that duplication issue. I just want to make sure we take care of that while I figure out where to stand. Can I stand in between these chairs?
Yeah.
Like here-ish?
Yeah, you can.
Great, I'm going to move right there. And we'll just, wedge. Kira will wedge herself right in there between those office chairs we've discussed before and take a swing at this orc she had no idea was there with a greatsword, as you do. That's cocked. Let's try that again. And that's not a 17. That is an 8 plus 6. I'm going to remember these numbers one day. 7. 8 plus 7. 15 to hit.
15 will hit flat-footed on
Great.
the orc we are calling purple. No, it's
Cultural
pink.
significance.
I'm sorry, it's pink.
Yes, that's great. Oh, no, it's not. I thought that was another 6. 6 plus 2 plus another 6. And the math is really coming in hot tonight, team. 8, 6, 14 points of damage.
Wow.
Well, you know.
All right. You do a big chunk of damage to old Pinky the half-orc, or whole orc, rather.
And that's my turn.
All right, and that brings us to our friend Orange, the rat folk, or Yosoki. That's right, I learned how to color them in the weeks between sessions here. And he's going to bust out a hand crossbow and take a shot at Kira, who has presented herself in the middle of the room. That is going to be an 8 to hit.
It's the additional cover from the many office chairs. Thank you. And also, my AC is not 8.
Well, you're lucky this time. Now, we're going to have a delightful, actual purple rat folk jump on out of nowhere and take a stab at Asher from behind. That is going to be just a 12 to hit.
No, even if I were considering that flat-footed, I would still miss.
Alright, unfortunately, and sadly for everyone, the purple rat misses, and that brings us up to Brixby's turn.
Brixby, battered but still standing, has recognized that fighting like a rogue has not really been helping him out at all so far. So his shield cast and his totally legitimately gotten magic missile wand clutched in his hand, he is going to level it at the purple rat folk in front of him and let fly a couple of missiles. First missile hits for 3, and the second one only hits for 2.
Alright, total of 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And,
we're all doing math fast tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stay there so I don't block Vargas's way in.
Alright. That brings us to our new friend, Yellow the Half-Orc, or Yellow the Orc, and I keep calling them Half-Orcs. He's gonna step up to Brixby into that doorway, and he's gonna take a swing with his improvised weapon. So this is going to be a 20 to hit.
20 does hit, Sam.
Alright, and that is 9 damage.
Wow. Alright, yep. Still up.
Alright. Yellow's turn is over, which brings us to Blue. And Blue is going to take a shot at Kira because she is closest. And that's a 15 to hit.
Pretty sure my fancy new armor makes that not a hit. Hooray for not getting hit. Sorry, Sam.
Boo. And that rat is going to disappear into whatever room that is to the north, never to be seen again. Which brings us to Green. And Green is going to run across the room to flank Kira with the pink and take a swing with a short sword. That is a 14 to hit, so I'm thinking another miss. Actually 16 with the flank.
Also still another miss.
So now we're at Pink, and Pink wants revenge. Alright, well, Pink is going to take a swing at Kira with flanking. That's going to be a 22 to hit.
So close. Sadly, I don't know what a reasonable AC is. That isn't 48. It's 48, and so no, 22 doesn't work. Right?
42 AC?
I'm getting no's.
No.
Yeah, 48 AC, so 22 doesn't hit. Yeah.
Okay.
But hypothetically, if it does, then yes, go ahead.
Alright, yeah, and that's a sneak attack since you are currently flanked, and we're looking at a sweet 12 damage.
Fair amount of damage.
And fortunately for everyone involved in the fight, Red doesn't get a turn on account of being bleeding out. So Vargas is up 3.5 hours into the fight.
Trying to think back to the previous episode, did I use an arcane point to enhance my arm during the last fight?
I don't think you did because they were going down easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I only used it during the... Oh no, I must have though, because we only had 2 fights. I wouldn't have used it twice during the... But I'm just gonna say, it's been long. It's been 10 rounds. I'll activate it again just to keep myself honest, just in case I did. So he's, as a swift action, going to use his 3rd arcane pull point of the day to enhance his arm, making it a +2 instead of a +1. And then he is going to wade on in and wish he had a 2nd level spell that I'm grabbing as soon as I can hit that much. Looks like I can get to here, and then I run up against Yellow. So I will go that far and take a swing at him. That is 19.
19 will hit Yellow the Half-Orc, or Orc.
Okay. That is 9 points of damage.
Nice. Big chunk. Still up.
And I can't use spell combat because I had to move, so that is his turn.
And we are back around to Asher at the top of round 2.
Okay. not in the best position for a ranged combatant that will provoke by shooting in melee range of two people, basically no matter where he stands. So I've been giving this some thought, and I am going to just play the rest of the session in protest. No, I'm not going to do that. Asher is going to attempt to tumble through Green's square to get out of this mess. So I'm going to make an acrobatics check against his CMD +5. What could possibly go wrong? Only a 12 on the dice for a 19.
CMD +5 is a 17, so you got it.
Whoa! Oh wow. Okay, that's exciting. Wasn't expecting that, I'll be honest. Thought I failed. So that's acrobatics moves you at half speed, 5, 10, 15. So that is a full move for him right now, unfortunately. So he is going to provoke from Green after getting to the other side of him and just try and, shoot him with a gun.
Green's gonna take a stab, and that's a 2 on the die, so only a 3 to...
That doesn't quite do it. I got a natural 16 for a 24 against touch.
On Green?
Yes.
Okay.
7 points of bludgeoning and piercing damage.
Alright, big hit on Green. Still up, but not looking great.
Awesome, that's his turn.
And Kira, round 2. You are flanked. You're standing in between some chairs. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I would like to be less flanked. So I'm just gonna hop on up here one square north. Is that fair game? It's a little squishy.
That one's kind of a squeeze.
Oh, and yeah, actually now I can't see anything else on the map, so I've sunk into the wall. Great. All right, okay. More options. I'm going to... if I take one step east, because I'm going over a chair. Thoughts, opinions, are these flavor chairs?
We've been playing the chairs like you can walk through them. And they're on wheels.
Okay.
They roll out of the way.
I'll, 1 5-foot step to the side then, and I guess take care of this little green dude. Or try to. 13, 8, set, not dirty 20.
Dirty.
2 hit.
Dirty 20 will definitely hit.
Cool. And that is another 12 points of damage on small green rat man.
And another Yosoki is feeling yampy in the bonce. Down he goes. That'll bring us to Orange, who is going to square up and take a shot at Kira again because she's standing straight across the way. That is a 17 to hit.
17 will not hit. Hooray! This is my favorite game. Love not getting hit by stuff.
Alright, Purple is going to... He's going to try to swing around the corner. No, he's going to use his scurrying swarmer feet to step into yellow square. Not feet, I'm sorry, racial feature. And take a stab at Vargas.
Wait. Sam, it's a feat. The racial feature only allows him to step into another rat folk square.
Is that real?
Yeah, swarming.
Look at his face.
See my face? Do you see the serious
I don't
about
see your
rat folk?
face because
It's true.
Two
It's
rat
hidden.
folk are in the same square and attack the same foe. They're considered flanking. Up to 2 rat folk can share the same square at the same time.
That's messed up.
Dude,
All right.
I had to take
Pretty
a
cool.
feat for it, man. Trying to get by on just a racial trait.
This one doesn't have that feat, then he's going to try to stab around the corner, which is going to give Vargas some cover, but that is a natural 20. So to confirm is, with the cover bonus is a 0, so I don't think that will confirm. You are looking at a massive, enormous 4 damage for that stab.
That's double what I thought you were going to say.
That was max damage. Oh man, Brixby is up.
All right, Brixby is hanging out at 1 hit point again. So to not go down, he's going to take a 5-foot step to the northwest, away from the half-orc as well as Vargas and the Yosoki. Level the wand as he still has line of sight with the aforementioned Yosoki, and let loose 2 more blue missiles of force power. Ooh, that's 5 with the first missile. And that's 4 with the second missile, making that 9. Far better than my first set of rolls. A 4 and a 3 there.
Who were those at?
The rat folk I hit the first time.
Oh, so purple.
Yeah, the one that just stabbed me.
All right, down goes purple.
You hear him under his breath just mumble, "Koji little jampy riffy nogging mithering mucka." Spits blood. That's his turn.
All right, yellow. He is standing in Vargas's face. He just got hit. He's gonna go for it, swinging a bent chunk of scrap metal. We got a 21 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right, he doesn't have flanking this time, so that is just gonna be 6 damage. How's Vargas looking?
Not horrible. Not great, but not horrible.
And let's see, blue is going to take a 5-foot step and line up a shot with the hand crossbow and fire at Kira. And miss horribly. And that is blue's turn. Let's see. Green doesn't get a turn on account of being dead. So pink is coming out of the office and gonna swing some scrap metal at Kira. That's a 7 to hit.
This is the best night. Also, no, that doesn't hit.
All right, we are back around to Vargas at the bottom of round 2.
Okay, Vargas is making sure his recording is working correctly, and it is. He's going to just kind of grin at the orc that just hit him with the scrap metal. And he is going to full attack this thing. So first he is going to swing at it with his, whatever the heck that spell is called that I can never remember, Arcane Mark. That is a miss. I'm assuming that is only an 11.
11 will not hit.
Okay. Then he'll take his regular melee attack. And that's a 21. That's much better.
21 will definitely hit.
Kind of wish I'd gotten both, because I'm pretty sure if I remember right from last week, these guys have ferocity.
Did you make your concentration check to actually cast that?
Oh, no, I didn't. I mean, it missed anyway, but actually he would get a attack of opportunity, wouldn't he? So let me do that. I'm going to assume, because you need 15 for a first level spell, I rolled a natural 13. And it's a 0 level spell, so I know I made it, I just don't know what I made it by.
Oh, well, it should be plenty.
I will look for it later. In the meantime, he is going to take 9 points of damage.
Alright, and he looks like he should be falling down. He looks weird. He looks like he's kind of out on his feet. But he is still standing. And we are up to Asher.
And Asher is going to take a 5-foot diagonal step to the southwest and reload. And then he will take a shot at that weird-looking, still standing, ferocious orc that was just junk punched. With a natural 20.
Woo. I rolled a confirm.
Okay, the confirmation is only a 14 against touch.
14 confirms against touch.
Yeah, sure.
This, I didn't know if this dice could roll single digits, but it did on the confirm. So, but I'll take it. So I'm going to grab 4d8 here. That is 21 points of damage on 48 plus 4.
And no matter how ferocious Yellow may be, he falls to the ground.
It's a good chunk of damage.
And you get a grit point back.
Huzzah! If only I could have temp grit points beyond my maximum. I'm so gritty right now.
It's just kind of floating around Asher in the air.
An excess of grit.
Looks like a pig pen.
Like pig pens.
Saturated with grit. Sorry, it's almost my turn.
Now it is your turn.
We did it. We got there. Kira's just seen Asher take that guy out and is impressed, but also remembering that time he was 1 inch taller than her and 1 roll higher for whatever context they have for that. It's like, cool, and her bitterness got her a 6 on the die. Does a 12? Does a 12? Nope. 13 hit? 14. 14. This is adamantine. 14?
14 will not hit.
15 hit.
I meant a 16. Does a 16 hit? That's my turn.
Sticking right there.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
All right. Orange is reloading and shooting at you again, because that's what Orange does. And that's a 10.
Sorry, Sam.
And Purple gets deleted from the turn counter, which brings us back to Brixby.
You just keep deleting them, Sam. You know, we were saying that before. It seemed like you put too many in.
Maybe not enough.
Going in. Brixby's gonna start making his way into the room in a southeasterly direction. Oh goodness, look at all that. So he will just stop right here, just south of the doorway. Vargas can still make it in there, right? I'm not blocking the door.
Right, Vargas can still
okay.
come through.
All right, Fog of War makes it look kind of weird. So
Yeah, the door's like here. Or here, I mean.
Perfect. Cool. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna shoot the magic darty doos at the guys. Those 2 missiles are gonna shoot out at actually, you know what? Old Orange back there, the Yosoki that's hiding in the back of the room. Brix levels the wand and taketh away. The first one was a 1, so that's only 2 points. And the second one was a 2, so that's only 3 points. So 5 in total.
All right. Orange is unhappy that he can no longer just shoot with impunity. And Blue is going to do the brave thing on his turn. And he's gonna shut that door. So now you have no idea.
Yosoki battle tactics.
Which brings us to Pink, the half-orc, who can tell that things are looking a little bit dicey. And, he doesn't really care. He's going to keep swinging at Kira. That is an 18 to hit.
18 will hit. I think that's how that works. The old meets beats.
And that's going to
be... Hear kids say that. So go ahead. Sorry.
That's going to be 9 damage.
That's not good. Okay.
So
Okay.
He's feeling pretty good right now, I think.
Yeah, it's not great.
All things considered. And we are back to Vargas at the bottom of round 3.
Right. Let's see. Vargas is going to step in 10 feet here to his right. And he's going to say, we should try to take one alive. And he is going to hit this orc non-lethally, which, because I have improved unarmed strike, I don't have to worry about any kind of penalty in that. Which is what I was looking up in between last turn and this turn. A 24 to hit.
A 24.
I don't know why I'm
will
counting
hit.
that. I hit on a 13, and I rolled an 18 this time, so I have no idea why I bothered to do the math on that. Not super great on the damage. 6 damage, non-lethal.
All right, and he is in this weird position where he would be unconscious were it not for his ferocity. He's still standing, non-lethally standing. And I'm still on the draw tool because, of course, I am still on the draw tool. All right. So I'm gonna give him some sort of weird face that shows that he's got all sorts of weird stuff going on, and Asher is up.
The one up here to the north, is that the one that closed the door?
Yeah,
Okay, so Asher cannot see them.
right.
Okay. And neither can Jeff now. We're
That's
at
what was
same
supposed to happen the
page.
first time, but then switched layers too soon and just started drawing all over everything.
Hey, I mean, this is art. I dare someone to tell us otherwise. Seeing as Brixby has already wounded Orange, Kira, and Vargas have pink in hand, Asher is actually going to... He's going to reload while he moves. And he is going to kind of acrobatics his way up to Brixby to try and not get an AOO from Pink.
So, if Pink uses his AOO, does that count as his action before going down or not?
It counts as an action.
I think if you went here and then here, though, you'd avoid an AOO, right? Or is that like a weird half square?
I feel like it's a half-ish square.
Well, you can move diagonally there. It just counts as 10 feet of movement.
In either case, I had 15 feet of acrobatics move, and I got a 24 against his CMD, so I feel pretty confident.
Yeah. It's got a better CMD than the rats, but it's not great.
So as he somersaults towards his rat folk friend amidst this sea of other rat folk bodies, he chambers around into his pistol and lays a hand on Brixby to lay on hands and give him a little bit of juice.
Just lay your hand on a wrong rat folk, accidentally revive one of our enemies.
He is not that racist, my dude. However, it was incredibly ineffective. 1 point of healing.
Hey, I am 100% healthier than I was earlier, and I deeply appreciate the effort and the gesture. Brix smiles bloodily back at Asher.
Well,
Gotta
he's
take
got
care of that bonce of yours.
All right, that 1 HP juice hand. Right in the
Purple
bonds.
stuff. Hey, Sunny D, alright.
And Kira is up.
Okay, so you've decided we're not killing this. You can see them here. So, we're,
Vargas mentioned it. It's up to you whether you want to kill him or not.
okay, so we're not gonna kill him. I guess I can just push him over. I don't. Can I do non-lethal damage with a weapon?
Yes, you'll take a -2, I think, right? Or is it a
It's a
-4?
-4.
It's minus four.
Yeah.
Okay. I think actually what makes more sense right now is using one of those potions. That's a better use of my time. I'm gonna do that instead. So that's a full round action to like get it out, drink it. Sorry,
Yeah, it's a
what's that?
move action to take it out and a standard to drink it. But it will provoke unless you are not.
Yeah, you might want to
with it.
5 foot first.
Yeah. I don't want to lose
actually-
that flanking.
Can you 5 foot and still do it? Does the 5 foot take the place of the...
No, 5 foot's a
You can still
free
do it, right?
action. You just can't also
okay.
move. You can take a move equivalent
Yeah.
action because
Right.
Pathfinder has
Okay.
a lot of rules.
Yeah, I should not get hit by anything again, and I will not be able to do any damage from here, so... Or at least not the non-lethal. Kind. So I'm going to 5-foot step 1 square to the north. Sorry, Vargas. And use one of those potions.
Still gonna provoke
Is
there.
the north one still threatened, though? I think that's the one
Dang
direction
it, you
that he
guys!
can
I'm still
hit.
so close to him. I always forget that part. I always kind of want to hit him now.
I think straight right
Yeah,
is
they're just gonna
probably
have
the-
to. Yeah, just step
Yeah.
back. Cool. And that's. Do I need to do the healing part also now? Because I can never remember which dice. What is it? 2d4 for?
It's 1d8 plus 1 if it's a cure light. Or if it's a mod, it's 2d8 plus 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, cure light is fine. Okay, that's mildly effective. That's going to be 3 points.
Wow.
Give
3
everyone a
times
fun-
as
like
much
that was
healing as Asher
That's
gave
true.
Brixby, so.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. That was my very effective turn. Everyone else enjoy.
And today we are not saving the dumpies. And Orange, angry that he got shot with a magic missile, is gonna reload and once again shoot Kira because she's the only one he can actually get to. And miss again.
Aha.
Like stormtroopers.
Which brings us to Brixby.
Yeah. Let's see. Brixby isn't gonna break what's already working here. Fix what isn't broken, I believe is the correct adage. Moving his unsteady hand from the Yosoki towards the pink wavering Gurring? Did you write a little gur beside that, Sam? Gurring half-orc?
Yeah.
That gur? Excellent. Look at that. That's so immersive. All right, so first missile. Freaking 1. So that's 2 for that first one. Heck yeah. 3 on that last one. So that's going to be 4. So that's 6 in total.
Alright. Still standing, still gurring,
Ah, darn.
but non-lethally so.
I was really hoping I was going to knock him out.
And something's going to happen behind closed doors. Nobody knows what it is that happens. And then Pink gets a turn. And Pink is not feeling wonderful about his chances right now, but he's going to lash out at Vargas because Vargas is standing next to him. And that's a 20 to hit.
That's a hit.
Sorry. Best of luck.
We got max damage. That is 9 damage.
Ouch.
That would have been bad.
These guys hit hard.
They've
Yeah.
been taking chunks out of us.
And they
quite the
really
wallop.
high to hits for using improvised weapons.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
probably have catch off guard. I mean, that's or some other built-in thing.
Maybe.
They've got that cool monk style.
Oh yeah, Shinigami style.
Well, the good news is Vargas is up.
That I'm trying to think if I do a forehand action if I take the negative, like not my regular melee, but the one that's my free melee attack that I get as part of spell combat. I'm assuming that's still considered an unarmed melee attack, so I shouldn't have to take a negative to do that non-lethally, right?
Right, you can still do that non-lethally whenever.
Not that it matters, because that is a 10. Also, right, no. Also, cast defensively. 15 plus 6 is a 21.
Okay, 21 succeeds to cast defensively, but a 10 will not hit.
Alright, and then he's just going to punch her again. He's going to say, fall down. And 22.
That's definitely gonna hit.
And that also rolled the same. So that is going to be another 6 points. Same as last turn.
Alright, he falls down. I'm just gonna click some icons on him. Oh,
just a couple, huh?
They just keep getting smaller, so. Yeah, he is unconscious and not dead. And we are up to Asher.
Yeah. As much as he doesn't want to keep throwing bullets away at this point, combat's gone on for, 17 hours? Almost as long as that robot fight. which is still canonically happening in an alternate timeline. Asher will move 15 feet to the east, be South Kira, and take a shot at Orange. It's a 22 against touch.
Surprisingly, that does hit.
For max 9 points of damage.
Nice.
And that is the end of Orange. Down he goes.
Hooray.
And the grit cloud grows thicker. Sorry, it must have been something I ate.
That's kind of gross, but it's fine.
Spitting dust out of our mouths. Just,
I'm going to step over here. I do want to open the door.
And Vargas is going to bind this dead orc, or unconscious orc.
Okay, I'm taking us out of initiative because there are no conscious enemies in the room.
And Kira will, move up to, I guess, one side of this door and try to open it.
All right, the door opens without issue.
Does anyone get shot immediately? Or shot at?
No, but you hear a voice call out of the room. Hey! Hey, stay where you are! Not one step closer! I'll blow your codging head off!
Bricks, master of diplomacy that he obviously is going to sidle over to Asher first and whisper, do you mind if I try first? I'm sure you can talk him down, but maybe he'll listen to me.
By all means, you might get some sort of circumstance bonus.
So, Brix is gonna walk up to, if Kira's on the east side of the door, Brix is gonna walk to the west side of the door, still maintaining that cover. He's gonna shout in, "Hey, Mucka, let's not do anything too hasty, mate. Right, just a little holly-bolly here, just among friends. Let's clear our donnies, put our weapons down, see if we can sort this all out. No need to do anything half-soaked, mate. I know you got a carbon, because your mates are on the ground. There's no need to slummock about in there, just come on out. See, we left your friend alive."
Listen, Mucker. I'm gonna need all of you to put your weapons on the ground. Step out in the doorway, but nice and far back so I can see you. Don't do anything balmy, and we'll be aces.
Right, aces. I see but one caggy-handed Yosoki in there, whose donnies can barely grip the little hand crossbow that was given to him. Listen, mate, you see that big pile of green skin right to my left? No, I'm not talking about her. No, him, your friend. Right, he's still breathing, barely. He won't be, and you won't either, if you don't follow our terms, mate. So, I'ma say it real simply to not baffle you, yay? I'd be mighty chuffed if you drop your weapon and come to the door. Otherwise, we're gonna paint the walls with you.
And he'll take a second to sort of think about it. And why don't you give me an intimidation check?
Oh, yeah. Anybody want to help me intimidate before I roll this? Say something mean?
Can Vargas, put his foot on the downed orc's throat and just kind of stare into the room?
Yeah, go for it. And you will be getting a circumstance bonus based on what is going on right now.
All this.
I do not aid. It was a natural one.
Alright. Well, then, unaided. I'll whack this in roll 20 so we can all look at this here. There it is. Big 14 before any other bonuses.
Very nice. Well, without even a circumstance bonus, I believe, to lift the curtain a little bit, the DC to intimidate is 10 plus the creature's hit dice plus their wisdom modifier. He's got 1 hit dice and a -1 wisdom modifier, so it's DC 10. So, your new Isoki friend is gonna put his hands up, and he's, clearly shaken. And he's gonna say, "All right, don't do me riffy here."
Nah, mate, wouldn't think of it.
All right,
Blot and shame. What can I call you, mucker?
they. They call me Pat, mate.
Well, that's aces. Let me introduce you to Kira. Just step right up here.
And
Hi.
he does put his weapon on the ground near his feet, and he's still got his hands up. Patchy Blue, as they call him.
And with that, Brix takes a step to the south. He has lowered his wand, but he's still holding it.
And he's gonna just sort of take a step towards the doors. So he's in this little bedroom. Looks like it's kind of a dormitory style thing where there's two beds in the room. And he's still staying in there, kind of tucked behind the doorway a little bit. And he's just like, "What the hell you guys want, anyways?"
Well, my new mucker Patch. This fine gentleman behind me, Asher, does more than just heal my scratches. You see, beautiful minds contained below that hat. He's got some questions for you.
With that, you'll step further back to the south.
Yes, Patchy Blue. We're here for a few reasons, the first of which would be to relight the torch. And I wonder perhaps if you might know something about why it's out. And we suspect that the person perhaps running your merry band of deceased and nearly deceased companions may be a woman with purple hair. Could you confirm that for me?
Oh, you got it right. Purple-haired lady's the boss. Yeah, she goes by Mayanda, and I works for her, but it's nothing personal. It's just business. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Sure, just following orders and all of that. Mayanda, does she a holy person of some sort?
Oh, why? She's a priest, a Hellion.
Hellion, is that the deity that she serves? I'm not familiar with that.
Well, far as I know, he's... he can't keep this accent. Far as I know, he's new on the scene, but you's gonna get to know him soon enough.
Went from Birmingham, England to Birmingham, Alabama.
He's got like 37 different accents.
Yes.
Churro.
I do enjoy
I got hit
meeting-
on the head. My voice is all yampy.
Yes, I understand that the Bonds is a sensitive area. It's also one of the only words that I can recall that Brixby says that I understand, even remotely. This Mayanda, is she working with the Technic League? What brings her here? We're very curious.
Ain't no Texas. Ain't no Texas.
The dreaded Texas League.
Oh my god, they all have coonskin hats.
That is terrifying.
All right, I'm writing down Texas League.
Texas League.
All
This
right.
is really how we set ourselves apart as an actual play.
Oh wow, actual tears podcast right there.
I know Tex.
You say it twice, it's canon.
Yeah,
I think that's
we have to
actually
keep it in now.
James Jacob wrote that in the errata somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
Ain't no Texas. I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to
all
re-record
the
this
whole
all
line.
later.
We're going to edit that in. Technic.
I know. I can't switch accents either. There ain't no technically where I'm from. We hail from Scrapwall, we're the Lords of Rust. Meander's the boss. I keep slipping southern. I'm just gonna stay southern.
So you're saying this purple-haired woman, this Meander, isn't a member of the Technic League?
About as far from it as you can get.
That's out of character. I'm saying this. That's confusing as hell.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to me, because remember we were saying this earlier, like if this is the Technic League, they would just roll up and be like, we're doing this. Yep. There's no like subtlety to it at all. There's no need to go into the mountain. They're just like, you all have headaches now. Call it a tax. But this makes sense to me way more, that it's like a, I don't know. Actually, could any of us roll a knowledge local on the Lords of Rust, or because I know Scrapwall is right near Chitterhome, yeah? It's like in the northeast area.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there any way we could? Do I even have a knowledge local? Yeah.
And now that we have the name Hellion, can we roll religion again?
Yeah, you can roll religion against Hellion, local against Scrapwall, or geography on Scrapwall, or local on the Lords of Rust.
Ooh, okay. I have all three of those things, and they're all at +8.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and submit my knowledge local roll first. That's a 0.
Very nice.
Oh, how about a
Thank you.
7?
0's better.
That's true.
Vargas has a 19 religion for Hellion.
On a 19, you've never heard of Hellion, and you're pretty confident that that's not a real god.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, I assume that 18. But man, yeah, Bricks rolled 2 successive nat 1s on his local and geography.
Me too.
Yeah, that honestly tracks with how much we seem to know about the country or the area that we are from.
12 geography? That's pretty bad.
With a 12 geography, and you've got the vague idea that Scrapwall is to the northeast, and it, as far as you know, is basically a wall of scrap. It's not like a town or a city or anything. It's literally like rubble and broken machinery and stuff. Just a giant dump.
Yeah, I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 6 on those 3 rolls. Just outstanding.
After every 3 1s, everyone turns to the others. This is Torch. We're in Torch now.
I think it's pronounced Torch based off of my 1 on my local roll there.
Hey, I've been out of the country for 25 years. I got an excuse.
Fair. Well, Lords of Rust is certainly an impressive title for your group. Were you responsible for the torch going out, or merely hoping to capitalize on whatever situation is going on here?
I mean, when we came under here, the torch was still burning. So, I don't put it past Meander. That's something she did over in the reactor room, shut it off, but it was still burning last I knew. We've been under here 2 weeks.
And that's longer than it's been out, right?
That's a little longer than it's been out, yeah.
Rather large number of people here. Does this look like everyone in the group that came, or do you think Mionda has more people with her?
You gonna let me step out, take a look around?
Certainly. And he'll reload. Not in a threatening manner, just sort of nonchalantly.
He steps out of the room slowly and tentatively, with his hand still in the air, and sort of looks around the room, and then he'll sort of head across the room and carefully squeeze by Vargas, and peek over into the other room.
Don't forget to count that one you just stepped over there. He's actually technically still breathing for now, mate.
He says, right, mate. Yeah, I think this is about the lot of us, except the monster, and Meander herself.
The what?
Man, she's got like a bodyguard. He's a big stone fella, with wings, and he don't talk, but he's a bit scary.
Is made of stone and wings enough of a description to roll like Dungeoneering or something?
Yeah, you could roll. Let me see. I think it's local.
Oh, well, my local is terrible, so let's get roll
Is
out.
it Arcana?
Aw.
It might be Arcana.
Oh, if it's Arcana, I get +7 to that one.
Well,
Probably engineering.
If it was Arcana, then that perfect 20 roll that I did is a 30.
Oh, yeah, wow.
But if it is local, then it is a 28.
Well, what is it to identify a monstrous humanoid?
Monstrous humanoid is local, I
think.
believe, because Arcana is magical, beast, and construct.
Yeah, humanoids are always local, I think.
Okay. Well,
That's-
the natural 20 anyway makes it kind of a moot point. He appears to be talking about a gargoyle.
Yeah, he'll go into a 30-second description about the difference between grotesques and gargoyles, and then describe what a gargoyle is. How many questions do we have about this fella?
Let's see, 28. We're gonna say we got a solid 2 questions. And the basic information would be gargoyles often appear to be winged stone statues, which can perch indefinitely without moving, allowing them to surprise their foes. They tend to be obsessive-compulsive in their behaviors, which are varied. They can collect books, stolen trinkets, weapons, and grisly trophies harvested from fallen foes. They tend towards solitary lifestyles, though some form fearsome groups. In certain conditions, a tribe might even ally with other creatures, but even the most stable alliances can collapse at the smallest of reasons.
What do you think, gang? They're made of stone, so chances are there's some DR in there, which we could possibly figure out with those 2 questions. Or we could go the special attacks route and see what's up the old stony sleeve.
I think we also all have local, so our powers combined, we might be able to hit enough to get the other questions answered.
All right, then I'm going to jump at special defenses first.
It does indeed have DR. Knowing what overcomes the DR, to quote Rick Sandage, would be a separate question.
And I would love to use my separate question for that DR.
The DR is overcome by magic.
Cool. That is pretty neat. Does anybody have anything magic right now? I know we got a lot of... Adamantine's the equivalent of a +1, right? Or something?
My arm is treated as magic for the purpose of bypassing DR.
Tight. Very cool.
I don't believe that...
That's one of my new 3rd level things.
I don't believe that adamantine is.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that makes
not.
sense. That
It's
makes
just
sense.
considered masterwork.
But you do have
yeah,
that
that's
+1 light hammer.
Oh, yeah. We got the little bashy from the tiny plant man.
Plant Thor.
Did you say how
Thor.
much it was? Like DR 2 or 3 or 1?
I'll give you that it's DR 10.
Yeepers.
Here we go. Okay.
It's non-trivial DR.
A 24 local wouldn't give us anything else, would it?
Well, you can get another question with that.
Okay, what else would we want?
Special
We know his
attacks.
strength group special abilities, you think?
Yeah, attacks or abilities.
Yeah, does he have any special abilities?
Well, his special ability would be a gargoyle can hold itself so still that it appears to be a statue. Any gargoyle that uses this freeze ability can take 20 on a stealth roll to hide in plain sight. Their attack, they don't have any special attacks, they just have natural attacks.
I feel like if we know there's gonna be a gargoyle, though, that's not gonna work. Like, we're gonna walk into a room with a single statue in it and go,
Just in the
"Gee,
middle
I
of the
wonder
room."
if that's him."
Under a light.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a museum. This is nice.
There's no way that we could have eked out from that general information that it has wings, so it flies. It is a creature capable of flight, but we don't really. It would be a specific question to know that it flies. Say, well,
Okay, yeah, because I think what you're doing right now is penguin erasure, and that's not
this is
okay.
true. Or emus, or a variety of other flightless
Ostriches.
birds.
Do
You're
ostriches?
right.
I just think ostriches get up for like 6 feet and then back down. I feel like.
Please forgive me, birds, flightless birds all over the world, for my ornithological missteps.
I think you're gonna need to do a full apology episode.
You're gonna have to fight a Rhea.
Is a 13 enough for even one question, or probably not?
Nah, 13 doesn't make it.
Weak.
How about a second 0? Thanks, Craig.
No, 0's not gonna do it either.
Bummer.
Eventually, we'll roll around back to a 20. I know so little that anything that I say could be true.
So, mate, you've been rather helpful. We have but a few more questions before we let you go, because not to speak for the rest of my party, but I think enough blood has been spilt in this room. We need to know everything about your boss, her magic, this alien. Is she a priest of him, or does she get her magic from a book or her blood?
Nah, she's the old religious type. She definitely gets her magic from a god, and it's powerful too. And she's got a. And he points at Asher. She got one of those too. And you know, I certainly wouldn't want to
God,
get in
she
her
has
way.
a cowboy hat.
I want her gun so bad.
A kerchief? Okay.
Yeah, is it a hat? Is that what you're saying? She has. Did she go to the Silver Disc Hall and pick up one of these as he places?
Because
the
we
small-
have some too.
She got a gun.
Now, I'm going to ask you something very important, and it's going to be very specific. So I need you to use everything in your bonds right now to answer me fully.
He's taking a step to the west. Blood is pouring from all over him. He's at 2 hit points out of 17, but he hasn't even bothered to even rifle through the bodies or seek other healing. Takes another hobbled step to the east. Scurrying Swarmer straight into a square. No, but stands right in front of him and goes,
Your boss isn't going to make it out from under this mountain. Now, I told you that you'd be free, but anything that you can tell us to make that certain heightens your chances of getting out from under this mountain. Weaknesses, blind spots, something useful.
And he's gonna think for a moment, kind of racking his brains. And why don't you give me either diplomacy or an intimidate? People
Ready.
can aid here.
Yeah, I think I'll aid.
Asher will forego an aid and attempt to roll a zone.
It's either rolling really good or really bad tonight. I do not aid.
Does Kira aid, or are you not aiding? Are you
I can
players?
aid. Yeah, you get all your points. Or 2 of them.
Excellent. Cool. That brings me to a +1. What? You recognize that. Come on. There we go. All right. Not so hot this time. That's only a 13.
Would say, in terms of aiding, I think Kira's been kind of standing by the door, just half listening to this conversation, right around until they get to my boss put the torch out, and then moves a little closer and is like, my friends are all mostly nice, and we can help, or whatever. But if you know where your boss is, and if you know how to kill her, you should help us, because I promise it's going to be a whole lot better than if you try and stick with her. She and I have, like, a thing now, so... And that'll just be... Have your 2 points.
Why, thank you. Those 2 points yield me that 13. Unless spitting biohazardous blood and spit all over his face gives me a circumstance bonus, of course.
Well, you all do have him kind of over a barrel. Not literally, because the barrels are in the other room, of course. But,
Sure.
He's going to think for a minute and just say, she's been spending just about all her time in the reactor room. That's he points off to the southeast at the sort of curved wall there. It's on the other side of that wall. It's a big spot, and she only really comes out of there for like these services she does, like prayers to Hellion. But on the south side of this floor, she's got robots. She's trying to fix up some machines to work for her. So if I were you, I'd sweep in down there, clean those up so she don't have backup, and then I wouldn't think of helping fight her. Yeah. I'd rather just be on my way, if it's all the same to the lot of you.
So you're a coward.
I'm a practical man.
Not to waste the natural 20 I rolled on diplomacy, bringing me up to a 29. Asher, just grit everywhere, will say to Patchy Blue, "Now, I'm certainly obliged to let you go, as Brixby has said. No need for further violence or threats. But it would be exceedingly helpful if you could let us know if there are any traps that she may have set, or defenses to this reactor room, if you've come across anything of that sort, or perhaps a white key card. That would be most helpful."
I mean, I got a brown key card. I think we all do. There's towards the front of this floor, there's a power distribution room that's malfunctioning like crazy. I wouldn't step in there, or you'll get shocked pretty bad. I think that's about it.
Do you know if that room has something to do with a power relay that was discovered? I don't know if you heard Meander say anything about it and what purpose it served.
And the power relay was sending the power from the reactor down here back to Scrapwall. That's the whole reason we're here.
An excellent engineering decision, certainly. Might I inquire what the Lords of Rest need with that power in Scrapwall?
He puts his hands up and shakes his head and says, "That's be above my pay grade."
Not a problem. I'm certain we can get some more information from Meander. You did mention prayer services, and as a holy man myself, I'd be intrigued to know a bit more about what those look like and where they happen.
She's got a shrine set up to Hellion just outside the reactor room. The room where she's got the monster station. She comes out there every day, and she'll hold a service, and we're all supposed to, sit and listen and pay our respect.
Has that service already taken place today?
Yeah, she already did one this morning, but she'll have another one tomorrow.
It's useful to know she wouldn't necessarily be coming out before tomorrow morning.
So we just set up all the corpses, Weekend at Bernie's style, for her to do her service to. Tomorrow morning, pop out.
Spring from the shadows.
Connect them all to strings, move them around like the cutouts in Home Alone.
But he did just say, too, that she's got her monster stationed by the room, so we don't have to worry about walking into one of these other rooms and getting attacked by
Monstered.
it then. Yeah.
Does the
Makes sense.
monster go to the service? That's like 35% joke. And if we decide it does go to the service, I will ask again in character. Just if we could just avoid killing that.
I mean, he stands there in his frozen
Oddly
sort of
enough, he's an
way.
atheist.
He don't move.
Other than the machines that she's trying to restore, if there's been anything useful that's been found here, is it kept in any particular spot? Any gear or equipment that's been discovered?
It's all piled up at the altar to Hellion.
Which is outside the door, so that's handy. Well, I have no further questions. Kira, Vargas, Brixby, Kingsley.
Are any of these robots currently operational? How many?
There's the little sort of repair-y types. There's two of those, and then there's one of those, big middle guys. And that one, it killed two of our orcs by itself, and we just started leaving it alone after that.
Well, I can tell you, mate, killing your orcs isn't as hard a task as you might make it out to be.
Coughs up just a little bit more blood. Tries to kind of right himself up again.
Right then. I'm good to let him skiddy back to his hole. Provided that, he doesn't warn anyone on the way out.
No, sir, wouldn't think of it.
Actually, one last thing there, mate.
And provided that he's wearing that helmet thing that they wear with the long ear flappies, he's gonna grab both ear flappies. He's gonna get real close to his face. He's gonna say,
Now I know he's a new Gordon, but tell me everything you know about Hellion. Everything you've heard, and what she says to you about him.
I don't know. I mean, he's the Lord of Rust. He's God, and he lives under Scrapwall, and I don't know. They show pictures of him. He looks like a giant, kind of demon-looking, kind of. I don't know. He's in charge. He's a god. Ain't nobody actually seen him, just the drawings, and you hear his voice. He can talk to you through the walls, and everybody knows he's real. He's granting her spells and everything. I don't know. He's terrifying.
Right, demon-looking thing. Is he made of metal, mate?
I ain't never seen the guy, but the pictures don't look like they're made of metal.
he lets go. Just almost drops to a knee.
That's all I've got.
Vargas will kind of kick at the unconscious orc and say, "You all worship this Hellion.
I mean, you do what you gotta do.
Does this one worship him?"
Yeah, he's maybe a bit more enthused than I am, but like I said, when God shows up in your house, you don't ask too many questions.
But you still haven't seen him.
No, but I know he's there.
Vargas is going to coup de grace the unconscious orc.
Spicy.
And old Patchy Blue is gonna jump back at that, instinctively, and go. Hey, no, I can still go, right?
You're fine. We promised you safe passage.
All right.
As far as your exit route is concerned, I am a bit curious. How did you all get down here? We had to do a bit of repair work to find our way to this floor.
He points his thumb over his shoulder, back, just straight back behind him to the west, and there's just a door, stairway there, leads to a door, leads to a long curving hall. And then after that, there's a metal door, goes out in a cave, but we locked it behind us. We sealed it up with a torch so nobody could come through. You could open it from this side, though.
Well, thank you. Patchy Blue, you've been most helpful.
Yeah, and empty your pockets on the way out there, mucker.
He says, right. And he's going to take a step back again, and he'll unlace his short sword, throw it on the floor, and pull a couple things out of his pockets. And then he will take off running. And as he runs down the hallway, and you all listen to the never-ending thrum of machines on this floor and the pitter-patter of Yosoki feet, I'm going to bed.
Good night, Sam.
Hard against the machine. Against the machine.
Hot Against the Machine is property of its creators, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are properties of Paizo Publishing. Please visit them at paizo.com for more information. Theme Against the Machine, written and performed by our own Zach. Please consult the show notes for additional music and sound effect licensing information.
I don't think I put a blooper on Machine Learning 3, did I? I don't think that one had one. That might have been the first thing released that didn't have a blooper in it.
Oh, then maybe that's the blooper. It's a postmodern blooper, if you will.
Whoa.
It's real Inception. Maybe the podcast is really the bloopers, and the bloopers the podcast.
Well, I think the blooper is holding up a mirror to society. And when the blooper is absent, you have become the bloop.
We live in a blooper. It's true.